Oh yeah, I got another video here, going over some search and stuff that I found on the page of Fred Murray and the official Facebook page, I believe to be the Maura Murray. But I'll tell you something. This is why I like to do videos like this, for the simple fact that when things are changed or things that aren't put into video, and this is definitely something I've went over and was not in a video. Now this is a thing, I don't know, I guess they put this in only because, according to sources, the search had nothing to do with the disappearance of Maura Murray, who vanished in the nearby Swiftwater on February 9, 2004, that the investigation being led by the New Hampshire authorities. But this goes on to say, supposedly Cemetery Road, nearby Goose Lane, which some damn road sounds so familiar about something I looked into before. Border near Swiftwater. I'm about to wonder if that's near the friggin' girl who vanished. The other, where the barn was, the other barn was. I believe that's where it was too. It's starting to come back, where the car was backed into the girl who was at the restaurant. So I don't know what the hell this has got to do with that, because that's in the vicinity of that girl's missing. But these are supposedly some drug people, and someone got shot by family members or something, but it had nothing to do with that. But it's in the range of this disappearance in Vermont line, so I don't even get that, because 112. And why they say Swiftwater, nearby Swiftwater, that's something very interesting I gotta look into that I haven't yet. Because that Cemetery Road, I believe I looked up, and that Goose Lane for something. And it might be for that other girl that was missing, that's similar to this. And, yeah, some body was found in Woodsville and Wells River. Anyways, girl's still missing. Now, if I would have known this, I wouldn't have brought up the damn tracking device. But, like I say, a lot of things are not put into videos, or, say so, like Wikipedia. Or, cold case documentation that people do. They don't put in all the damn details, and I didn't know, alright, that now they say that Maura Murray crashed her car and her father's car, right? And they were looking. Now this is where it's screwy, because they said that they were looking for a car after she crashed it, right? But it would have been with hitting the kid and everything, or being drunk driving. But they were looking for a car before all the accidents happened, not after the accidents happened. So whoever put what in where, when, and how, I don't know why her father and her took a vacation in the mapping I did on the other one. Or not the mapping, but the other person did. Talking about where the father and daughter were going to place. This all says something. Missing Maura's 96 Saturn careened off the road into the woods. Barely missing a tree. She was fine. The car wasn't but the car wasn't. Wait a minute. Yeah, this is all. Then you got the bus driver that comes in. She already called AA. Atwood thought she seemed like she'd been drinking. Okay, he said, I'll call the police, fire department. I guess it was cold. She didn't want to get out of the car. She didn't want the guy's help. And he offered her to go to his house, stay warm. She said, no, I'll wait here. But I guess the bus driver went on home. I've been scared of him. That's what she probably thought, that why she didn't get in the car. He was 350 pounds, had a grizzled beard, so he didn't pose, press the point. Instead, he drove the 100 yards. I showed you on the mapping of that. Back to his, he called the police. About 15 minutes later, the police came. When they looked inside, they found an open can of Sky Blue Malt liquor in the front seat. The back was a suitcase filled with clothes, a stuffed monkey, and a diamond necklace that her boyfriend Bill had given her, 2 textbooks, another book, Not Without Pearl, an account of people who died climbing the New Hampshire's Mount Washington. I don't know what the hell she was reading that for. Bookmarked a chapter titled A Question of Life or Death. But, more was whatever the hell that is. Taking off, no one knows. Moore was going 3 hours earlier when she got into her car at the University of Amherst, where she was a junior studying nursing, blah, blah, blah. She emailed Bill at 1 p.m. The day after she failed to return to his phone, the phone calls. She just didn't feel like talking too much of anyone. I promised to call today, though. Love you. 4 hours after she emailed Bill, Maura did write a note to her boss at the campus. This is all stuff I know. And then it was, the Burlington, Vermont, which is the opposite direction from where she crashed. Which I don't know how. Yeah, because she was on her way. When I looked at the map, Burlington would have been going that direction she was driving. But at the ATM, she took out money, bought a can of Sky Blue and a bottle of red wine. She could have bought that stuff right to go meet someone, like I said, and probably was going to drink with him in a motel room, but where she was getting cold, crashed her car. She probably opened up the bottle, tried to stay warm. Booze does that. So I highly doubt she was drinking and driving. But early warning. Maura always seemed like she had it all together. This goes on to say that she went to West Point, a military academy, but then she transferred to UMass because she'd rather heal people than kill people. I guess she lost the race, but she was a fast runner. She liked to run. There are pictures of her, if you check them out, her running on track. But supposedly, when she lost a race, she didn't cry. She's not a person that cries, I guess, but, she looked like she went down on herself, so say. And she would, but supposedly before she disappeared, 4 days earlier, she's crying to her sister. And that makes me think, if she started crying, she was engaged. This Kathleen, her sister, was telling her, don't worry, he's a good guy, he'll work out. I think this is why I think she had someone on the side. Because she probably was still in love with the guy, but felt that she was maybe cheating, say so. So yeah, she could have been on a website, dating website, but felt guilty. Sorry for a little interruption. I guess she burst into tears in front of a co-worker after they got off the phone, sitting there, when she got off the phone with her sister, Another outburst happened later Saturday, February 7th. Yeah, this is where it says Maura's dad drove up to Amherst to help Maura buy a new car. Now, this didn't say nothing before about buying cars. This said after the accident, she was looking for a new car, but she didn't even have a friggin' car. All of a sudden, she gets one, she gets into an accident. So that kind of fizzes out the theory of, the, kind of don't, but it does, of the, tracking device. But if she was being followed, and they seen her looking at this car and bought it, but that don't indicate it in anything else. Like I said, this is why I do this, because stuff changes. So I don't even know who wrote this. But the father went up there to help her buy a car before the accidents. So that can just be clearly straight out right. Her fiance's miles away, she's lonely. She, picked up the internet, something to do, could have found someone, yep. But became guilty. And this is where all her anxiety and guilt trip, led her to this. And that's why I'm saying she could have been lured in. And because this is just crazy now that I found this out. I read this finally today. So it's like, see what I mean? When you gotta do videos and people yell at me when they say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, hey, when I read something, I'm just reading off other people's posts and I throw in my own ideas. But when this comes up over here, down there, they were going to buy a new car, and besides looking for one because she had gotten into 2 accidents, ruining her father's car, ruining her car. It's like, okay, I didn't read this in any other article, so that's full of shit. I'm not making up nothing. I'm just freedom of speech and giving my own thoughts and theories. I still think that someone lured her in. She might have been trying to go on a little date, but she was guilty. Guilt kicked in. That's why she's having these outbursts. That's what I get from all that. Another outburst. And about an hour later, Murray arrived at friend Sarah's dorm room to hang out. But she was saying in here that while they were drinking a little bit of wine a couple of times, so they were saying, she wasn't drinking heavily. It did not make any sense that she wanted to return the car to her dad. So it's like, okay. And said Kate Markopoulos, who was there. Why would Maura, who'd had a few drinks and seemed tired, go to the trouble of driving all the way back to her dad's motel in the middle of the night? She didn't need to. But, guilt. All about guilt and how she felt. And that's what I think. Thoughts and theories. She left at 2:30 a.m. telling everybody she was going to go upstairs to her room, but instead she got in her dad's car and started driving back to his motel on the highway. The car jumped, and this is something different. The car jumped a sandy embankment and hit a guardrail. Now that was something that was never mentioned. Yeah, it said it hit a guardrail, but the front end of it was crumpled, called AA. This is where they were saying, this should have been the accident that she ran over the kid with the father's car. Or was it with her Saturn? But the next morning he was upset. The first thing I asked was, "Are you alright?" He says, as Fred Murray called garages, Maura sat there crying. She kept repeating, "I'm sorry," over and over. I think she had felt like she had really let me down. What the hell? When Maura told her father about the accident next morning, he was upset. I don't know, see what I mean? I don't know if this is the father writing this or somebody else. That's what makes it so off. The police arrived and wrote up a report, but didn't give Maura a ticket. So, this closes, anybody following her, maybe ran her off the road, you never know. That still could have happened. But still, tearing Maura off her dorm and rental car. Still, what was that? More dropped. 2 p.m. Murray dropped a still tearing Maura off at her dorm in a rental car. I said, "Maura, it will get fixed. Don't worry," he says. Then Maura got out and her dad drove away. So the next day, February 9th, New Hampshire police arrived at the scene. Maura's second accident, the one on Route 12. The police, the fire department, and the residents searched the area. They also left a message for Maura's family to let them know that there had been an accident. When Maura didn't turn up the next day, the police called again and told them she was missing. Fred Murray drove up to New Hampshire, got a room at the Wells River Motel near the accident site. So, I mean, as you can see, I can't explain how it feels walking up an embankment, though deep in snow, and then there's a big hill in front of you, and you have to walk it because you see footprints in the snow, and you might find your sister's body at the end. Says Catherine, 2 days after Maura's disappearance, dogs had tracked her scent to the road, about 100 yards away from the site. Her family thought that maybe someone had picked up Maura. They printed up 15, yeah, see? So, I mean, if you got snow and you got no damn footprints going anywhere this way, that way, you know, give me a break. Someone picked their ass up. And someone was there. Someone was either following, like I said, because if she was going to go meet somebody and she was looking places to go and they finally decided, that ain't in there, and that person probably paid for the room, or they didn't pay nothing and they were going to wait till they got there first to meet. So, but then again, maybe she did crash and bump her head and saw druggy, but maybe she did happen to encounter someone, pushing her off the road too. But if that's irrelevant to say, so be it. But, I mean, this is just, whoever wrote this is just insane. And, they're tracking them every signpost and gas station within 50 miles. But weeks went by and no one came forward. So the Murrays are still searching for Maura. Still no signs of Maura. The only thing that makes sense is that the bad guy got her, is what her father said. And that's exactly what I say. But police disagree. There was no evidence that she was abducted, because how are you going to find evidence, you jackasses, when the car is taking her who knows where? Hello? The dog center on the road. That means someone stopped, somebody got in, and all your freaking car tracks ruined the tracks that would lead to the car when you got there. Common sense, says New Hampshire State Police Sergeant. have told newspapers that they suspect Maura intended to kill herself. But they've reached no conclusions as far as, concerned. She's missing person, says York. Maura's crying along with her, a typical drinker. Family and friends say she wasn't a drinker, and that the 2 car accidents just before her disappearance raised the question of whether she was buckling under some emotional pain. I don't know what could have been going on that she didn't tell me about, says Bill. That Bill's Bill. I don't know who that is. As far as I know, everything was fine. I may go to my grave never knowing, she's gone, even if she leaves school, says her father, and as far as I can tell, no one else knows either. So, for the police to sit here and say, oh, she was going to kill herself, she was suicidal, everything is coming up as not an abduction. Somebody needs to stop sniffing glue. That's what I think. They're out of their cotton-picking mind. If you find a friggin' footprints and leading into the road, that means someone goddamn started, hey, need a ride? Or whoever she was meeting was on their way up there. Hey, here I am, get on in. So she felt comfortable. Oh, that's you. Think of that theory. Because if she just had gotten a car because they were looking for cars, or this was her old car and it was just, junk and she wanted a new one, okay. This, like I said, this don't explain nothing. Makes no friggin' sense. So it's like, say what you will. I think someone had a date with her, gonna meet her up their way. She was on her way, she slipped on ice, bang. The other person was on their way, that way. Maybe she told them that's where they were going. You don't know. I mean, there's missing phone calls. She could have called on a private phone or messaged through Facebook or something. Or just kept it private, right? So her boyfriend wouldn't find out. So, some things you can do. That's right. Things you can do to keep little secrets. That's why I don't do stupid stuff like that, man. I've seen too many relationships with people getting caught. It's ridiculous. If somebody's smart, you find your one woman, your one man, stay with that person, because cheating gets you caught. This one, you don't get caught when all they wanted to do was kill you. Anyways, I just thought I'd share this. It literally it's like the mapping. Just, But things that are missing, things that weren't said, and other things like the car being bought before, not after, whatever the case may be. That's why I make these videos. So, that being said, I mean, you could look through all these yourself. If you go on the original Maura Murray Facebook thing. But I just don't find it. It's just crazy. It's insane. Out.